Getting fired is the best thing that will ever happen to you. I've been laid off or let go many times in my career, and that may not be something that you would think I would boast about. Typically, we don't think of being let go or being fired as a good thing. Well, I can tell you from experience that while it's certainly not fun and it certainly gives you a lot of anxiety when it happens, it literally is one of the best things that has ever happened to me pretty much every single time. Today, I want to talk about the hard reality of losing a job as a software developer, but also show you 3 reasons why it may be exactly what you need. Hey, Junior Devs, Dev Mentor Dave here, helping you bridge the gap from learning code to launching a successful career. Hey, if you've lost a job as a developer, or you're concerned about maybe losing a job as a developer, I'd love to hear your story down in the comments below. If you'd leave it for me, I'd love to read it. I read every comment, and so I'd love to read it and respond and give you some encouragement along the way. So the reality is you are most likely going to get laid off, or you're going to get fired, or going to get let go, or any of the other terms that are being used by companies today to describe you no longer working for them. This is just a reality of the development world. In fact, on average, developers spend 2 years or less at a job, either because they move on to go to a different job or because they're let go. Of course, this happens for lots of different reasons. It's not just because you're bad at your job. In fact, most of the times that I've heard of people being let go, it had nothing to do with them being able to do the job. Sometimes it's an economy issue where just lots of people are losing their jobs. Sometimes companies, especially small companies or startups, just don't make it and they have to let people go. And sometimes you do mess up. But there are 3 realities of losing your job, especially in the development world, that I believe generally pushes your career forward instead of sending it backwards. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm really not an extrovert. I know I'm trying to, be cool and stuff on the video here, but this isn't really me. I'm very much more of an introvert. I like being at home. I like doing things by myself a lot of times. I'm very happy to be alone. That doesn't mean I don't enjoy being with other people or I don't enjoy teaching and mentoring and interacting with people. I do enjoy that. It's not the main thing that I want to do all the time. It's not the thing that just drives me. I'm kind of a bit of an introvert. And if I'm not careful as an introvert, I can really get locked into things that are comfortable for me. I like the same foods all the time. I like to go to the same places all the time. I like to do the same things and be with the same people. It's very easy for me to kind of live my life in this little bubble of comfort. Well, one of the things that losing your job does is it forces you out of your comfort zone. See, it's easy for us as developers to get locked into what we know, whether that's a specific coding language or a framework, or even just the people that we work with and the job that we work in and even the industry that we work in. It's easy for us to get real comfortable and just kind of get to a point where we're not really pushing ourselves to learn new things. We're not really putting ourselves out there. We're not really taking any risks. And losing your job kind of forces you out the door to reevaluate what you know and what you need to know in order to be successful. Unfortunately, a lot of us need a kick in the pants to really make sure that we're continuing growing. And one of the things that does that is losing a job. So while it's no fun to go through the process of losing a job, it can be a real huge benefit by forcing you to realize, hey, there's other things out here that I need to learn if I want to be marketable to some of these other companies. So losing your job is good because it forces you out of your comfort zone. So how else can losing your job be a good thing? Well, one of the questions that I ask pretty much every junior developer and oftentimes mid-level developers and even senior developers when I'm trying to get to know them, trying to understand what they're pursuing is, what are your goals? What does success look like to you? What is the thing that when you get there, you know that you have arrived. You have finally achieved everything that you've been working towards. In another video, I talk about not following the career path of your company because a lot of times they give you their ideas of success that really are not good developer ideas of success. And if we're not careful, being in a job for any number of years can kind of lull us into thinking that success is what the company says success is. It's moving up the corporate ladder. It's getting from this job description to this job description, or this specific pay scale to this pay scale, or whatever that looks like from one company to another. It's easy for us to get locked into those ideas of success and not realize that maybe we should have some other goals in our career as well. So one of the things that losing your job forces you to do is reevaluate what's important to you. Reevaluate what your goals are in your career, what your goals are as a developer, what your goals are for your growth. When you lose your job, it's a perfect time for you to sit down and figure out, okay, what do I need? And where do I want to be? What do I want to pursue? Because those questions will help you evaluate job offers. It'll help you evaluate what jobs you're even considering applying to. Knowing your goals is going to really help you focus where you want to be in your next role. Another part of that evaluation is determining whether or not those goals that you have set for yourself are actually achievable. Do they make sense? Are they something that you can really do? Or is this just a pie in the sky idea, or maybe somebody else's goals that you picked up along the way working for your last company? So losing your job is a great way to force you to reevaluate what's important to you and reevaluate your goals and what you're pursuing in your career. Of course, the third one's probably the most important one. But before we get there, I want to ask you, could you click the like button and help me get this out to more people? I would really appreciate it. Now, if you've watched some of my other videos, you probably know a little bit about my story. I haven't spent a single video going through my whole story, but you might have heard something about this before. When I first started being a developer, I started freelance, and then I finally got a real developer job. And when I came on board, I was actually making less than what I was as a freelancer because I needed the job because I ran out of freelance money. So I took a job that was actually paying me less, and over time I needed to get a raise. I was able to ask for a raise, and they did grant me a raise, but they changed what I did. They had to change my title. They had to change my position and put me in a different position in order to give me a pay raise. That was my first job as a developer working for a real company. Ever since that job, I have never once received a raise from any other company. That's over 10 years of development never getting a raise. However, today I make over 3 times as much as I did with that first job. So if I never got a raise, how in the world did I make more money? Well, by losing jobs. See, my reality is that every time I lost a job, I actually got a new job that paid me even more than I had before. And part of the reason for that is because I have more experience now. So when I apply for a job, I'm applying for better jobs, for higher paying jobs, because I have more experience along the way. Also, part of it's because I usually work with recruiters and they do a pretty good job of trying to get you as much money as they can. But losing a job is one of the best ways, and in some cases, the only way it seems like developers go about getting a raise. It can be really frustrating and nerve-wracking to try to ask for a raise, even though you probably should. If you think you deserve it, you should probably ask for a raise, especially if you work for a company that doesn't have automatic raises. Some do. Most of the ones that I've been in do not. Sometimes it can be really intimidating to go and ask for a raise because you've got to justify why you think you deserve to make more money. However, losing your job kind of forces you to do that anyway. Unless you're at a point where you just have to take the first job because you need the money, this is a great opportunity for you to reevaluate the market, find out what you're actually worth, and then pursue jobs that are willing to pay you what you're worth. And whenever you talk about compensation, always ask for more than you think you deserve, because you never know, you just might get it. Even if you don't get it and they negotiate you down, well, then you're down to where you think you deserve to be. So losing your job could be one of the best things for you because it might force you to get over the hump and actually ask for a raise in your interview. Now, while you do have a job, you need to make sure you're getting as much mentoring out of the senior developers around you as you possibly can. Unfortunately, whether one is designated to you as a mentor or whether you have to find them yourselves, a lot of senior developers really are not cut out to be mentors, and they just don't know how to do it. In this video, I'll explain why that is and talk about how you can actually get good mentoring out of senior developers who don't realize they're actually giving it. Hey, if you find this content helpful and you're not subscribed, could you click the subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified the next time I upload a video? Thanks for spending time with me today, and I'll see you on the next one.